Hey everyone, this is Samarth. In today's video, we are going to start our backend part. First of all, we will understand what Ktor is, and after that, we will start our project. In between, we will see some small but very important concepts, and then we will make some simple routes, and after that, we will see how to manually test them using Postman. So, without further wasting any time, let's get started. Welcome back, everyone. Now, first of all, see what Ktor is. Ktor is a web framework which is built on Kotlin and it is made by JetBrains to build web applications, HTTP services, mobile and browser applications asynchronously. Ktor is built on coroutines. Coroutines are nothing but lightweight threads. If you have read your Android development in Kotlin, then you may know about the coroutines. Coroutines are a very great concept in Kotlin which made the multi-threading concepts very easy. First of all, you will need Intellij Idea. If you don't have Intellij Idea, you can simply download it from JetBrains website. I will provide the link in the description. You just have to download this community version. Simply click on this download button and install it on your system. Now after installing Intellij Idea, you will need Ktor plugin. If you don't have Ktor plugin, then just click on this configure, then click on plugins, and in this marketplace, you just simply have to type Ktor. If you don't have installed, then it will show you the install button. Click on the install button, press OK, and after that, if it is asking you to restart, then restart it. Now after installing Ktor plugin, you just have to click the new project and here select the Ktor and let us understand what all these things are representing. Now this select box is representing build tool. We will use Gradle in our project, but there are many tools like Maven and this Gradle Kotlin DSR. We will use Gradle in our project. After that, this is a server engine. Ktor uses its own server. It means that it don't relies on any another software. For example, if you know about PHP, it relies on another softwares like Map or Exam to start server. But in Ktor, it don't relies on any another software. So here we have different type of server engines, that is Netty, Jetty, Tomcat, and CIO. Netty is a asynchronous server for TCP UDP protocols, and Jetty and Tomcat are serverless containers, and CIO is coroutine based input output. We have to select the Netty over here. Now let us understand what these two blocks are representing. As written, first one is for server and the second one is for client. Now we will not gonna make our client in Ktor so that we don't need to select anything from this block. Let us concentrate on this server side block. Here you can select any feature which you will need in your project. It will simply add the dependencies of that feature and little bit code for that feature. Now we will select the sessions from here because we will gonna make the sessions, and here a lot of features are there. You can explore these features if you want, and then now let's concentrate on this authentication block. So there are different types of authentications present in Ktor. We will gonna use authentication JWT, but there are another types of authentications are also present. So in basic authentication, whenever we have to use the authenticated route, we have to pass the username and the password of the user. In digest, it is also based on the username and password authentication, but it will provide the specific number. And in this JWT authentication, every time whenever we will log in or register, we will provide the user credentials and it will give us a token. And we will save that token in our mobile app. And whenever we have to use the authenticated route, we have to pass that JWT token. Now these are some. Now there are some other authentications also. Now, for example, this OAuth is. You may have seen that sign in with Google, sign in with Facebook. These are some third-party authenticators. This OAuth is all about these third-party authenticators. For example, Google, Facebook, GitHub, and all these kind of things. We will not gonna use this OAuth in our project. We will use our JWT. Now, this is a content negotiation. In content negotiation, we just simply have to select the JSON. Because we have to convert our class into a JSON object, and from JSON object we have to convert it into a class object. So for that purpose we need a converter, and we will gonna use JSON as a converter. That's all we have to do from this page, and simply press the next button. And here if you want to change the group ID or artifact ID, you can change it. I will not gonna change. And here you can write your project name like node app server. You can write anything and press the finish button. Now let's wait for the Gradle to finish its task, and then we will start our server. Now Gradle build is finished. Just open this source folder and open this application.kt file. This is the main file of our project. Everything we will gonna do will be declared in this file. Now let's start our server. To start our server, you can simply press this green button and run this application.kt file, or if it is not showing you, then in this file press the right click and press this run application.kt. Now Gradle will build our project and it will start the server. Here you can see an error came. It is because my server is running on port number 8080. It is saying that port is not free. So let us change the port number. Go in the resource folder and open this application.configuration file. If you are getting this same error, then you can just change the port number. I will change it to 8081. Now rerun our application and you will see error will go on. Now to test that our application is running, go on the localhost colon port number whatever your project have. I have port number 8080. If you are running your project on port number 8080 or any another port, you just have to write that port number and press the enter. Here you can see hello world is written. So it means that our server is started successfully. Now let's stop this and let us see some important files in our project. And first of all, this is the application.config file. It is a file having a HOCON format. It will represent all the configuration of our application. So for example, port number and the main module of our app and all these kind of things. And this is the application.kt. This is also a very important file in our project. Let's understand what all the things are written in this file. First of all, this is the main function. As there we have selected the netty engine, so it is calling that netty engine and main function. And see here, our main module was com.application.application.kt.module. It will tell our application that which function we have to run. So this dot module function is here. This is the application dot module. This is currently our main function in which we have to specify everything. Now first of all, what is this install sessions? As we have selected the session dependency over there, it had written a simple and small code for us. Currently we don't need this, we will see it later. And for authentication part, it has written this install authentication, and we have to write all the authentication part in this authentication block. Now this is the content negotiation block. As you can see, we have selected the JSON over there. It has added that JSON for us. Now this is the main routing block. Every route we will make in our project, we will declare in this routing block. Let's delete this code, we don't need it. You can see when we go to the localhost port number 8080, then it showed us hello world. How it show us hello world? Because at home page we have written the get route over there. That is call.respond text, and this is the format how we are responding to the route. This is for the text purpose. If you have to respond in another, like for example, you have to respond in any another data type, you can simply write call.respond and pass anything you have to. Now we will come to this point again. Let us understand what the other main files in our project. And this build.gradle file is also a very important file. We have to specify all the dependencies and plugins in this file which we have to use in our project. Now the next one is gradle.properties. This is the properties of that gradle file. For example, which version of the dependencies we are using and all these kind of things. So these were some important files. We don't need to see any another file. Now let us see what are the other different kinds of requests we can do. First one is the get request. This is a very basic request we can do from our browser, and it is used to simply get some information without providing any important credentials. The next one is the post request. It is used to do some secure communication. For example, if we have to log in or we have to register our user, then we have to pass the user credentials in the body of our request. Get and post are the two most important requests. And after that we have a delete request, as name suggests that it is used to delete some information of the user. After that we have to request, that is put and patch. Both are used to update some information. Now put is used to update the complete information. For example, we have to completely update a node, and patch is used to partially update something. For example, we have to update one or two properties of the user, then we can use patch. By the way, we can do everything, that is delete, put, patch with our post request also, but it is the best practice to use these delete, put and patch. Now let us see how we can practically create these different types of requests. Here you can see this is the simple get request already created for us. Now to create the post request, we simply have to write the post. Then it will simply for the localhost colon port number, and to pass the any path, to pass the path, simply pass the string and write your path over here. For example, nodes. In our case, this will simply work for localhost port number 8081 slash nodes. Now in post request we have to receive a body. So simply get the body as call.receive, and here we have to pass the data type of our body. We can pass any data type, for example int string, or we can create our own classes. For example, if we have to select, if we have to get the user credentials, then we will gonna make the user class and then pass the user and then write the user over here to get the response as a user class. Now currently I will simply write the string over here, and in the response I will simply pass this body. So this is the simple post route we have created. Similarly, we can create for delete also, and for example, we can select the body call dot receive and pass the string here, and then in real project we have to perform some actions. For example, we have to delete something, but here I am giving you a simple example. Then we can just simply respond to it as a body. Similarly, you can create routes for put and patch also, and here we have to pass the path, for example nodes. Now if we have two types of requests on a same route, for example this is the post and delete requests are on same route, that is nodes, then what we can do, we can create a route and pass the path over here, and here we don't have to pass any path. These two will work on this nodes route. Similarly, we can create the nested routes also. So as our post route is in this nested route, it will work on create. So this will be the URL for this post route. Now let us check how can we pass the path parameters. For example, you may have seen these type of URLs for like we can specify any ID or any value in this, and it that page will gonna respond according to this ID or this value in that path. Now let's create a simple get route with path parameters. For example, if we have to select a particular node, then we will create a route that is node, and here in curly braces we can specify the ID, and here we can get the ID as call.parameters and specify the ID, that is with what we have written here, and then in response we will pass that ID. Now let us see how can we create query parameters. You may have seen this type of URLs in which a question mark is there, and then there are key value pairs. Let's see how we can create this type of URLs. Here also we can take the same example. If we have some specific ID, then we can pass it as a path parameter also, and we can pass it as a query parameter. Here we will pass it as a query parameter. Now get this ID as a call.request.query parameters, and here we have to pass the ID, and simply and in response we will simply pass that same ID. And if the user haven't written that ID, then it will simply show the null. let's test on the browser. Simply run this application, and after it starts responding, go to our browser. And here see, when we will pass the node and any ID, for example 5, we will get that ID and response 5 to us. Similarly, as a query parameter, we can pass the ID is equals to 5 or anything you want to pass. Then it will get that ID and response that same ID to us. Now in browser, we can only make GET requests. How we can make post and delete requests? To make the post and delete request, we will gonna use Postman. Postman is a software used to work with APIs, used to test APIs and all these kind of stuff. You can simply search it on Google and download it. It is free. After downloading and installing, you may see this home screen. To make the request, you just go to your workspace and create a request. So this is the space where we will gonna make our request. We can do any kind of request. You can see different kinds of requests over here. We want to do the post request, and here we have to specify the URL, and the URL is nodes. As you can see here, this is the nodes and create URL. So here nodes/create, and in the body we have to pass a string, that is something like hello, and create the request. As you can see here, we receive the body as a hello, and in a response we send the same body, and here we can see that we got the response as a hello. So same with the delete, we can make the delete request, and our delete URL was no create was not there, and we have to pass the body anything hello, hi, and send the request. Same happened there. It got the body and it respond the same body. So that was all in this video. In this video we learned what Ktor is, how we can create our Ktor project, and we understood some important concepts like authentication, and after that we created different types of routes. So this was all in this video, and in the next video we will connect our project to PostgreSQL database. If you like this video, then please like it and share it with your friends, and subscribe to my channel. And if you have any query or I have did any mistake, then please write in the comment section. I will try to improve it and answer your questions. So thank you all.